I welcome you to this video, which is the continuation to our clause test, video 1. Okay. So, in this video what we will be discussing is, we will be discussing about the clause test types. Okay. So, the question format that you would be facing in the exam can be of different types. Yes, the theme is going to be clause test, but how the questions are being portrayed may vary, right. So, in this video what I have done is, I have chosen the most repeated forms, okay, or repeated patterns that the questions are being asked in various exams or your entrance tests or your interviews, right. So, these patterns you need to be well aware of and you need to prepare when you are approaching this particular clause test. And like I already told you, please remember that this is one of the easiest topics where you can score good marks. Yes. Now, let us move on to our different types. So, you have 4 types, or we have chosen the 4 repeated types. Yes. So, your first type is the passage with blanks. Okay. So, what is passage with blanks? You will have a reading comprehension passage. Yes. In that reading comprehension passage, there might be few blanks here and there, and what you need to do is, you need to fill it up with an appropriate word. Yes. So, that is your type 1, and this type, if you see, is your most repeated type. Yes. So, this is your most repeated type. And before I could move on to type 2, I would like to add a point here. Yes. So, clause test, it has clause test, every question paper is categorized into 3 levels, be it easy or medium or difficult. Yes. So, your clause test also, based on the question pattern, you might be able to judge if it is actually an easy or medium or difficult level. And easy questions, okay. So, easy questions are mainly targeted for beginners. So, if you are a beginner, you can easily, beginner or an intermediate, you can score good marks in the easy level question papers. And what about medium? Medium is targeted for intermediate and advanced category, and difficult is targeted for advanced and professional category. Okay. So, you have to understand as to which category you are, whether you are a beginner or you are an intermediate. Okay. So, or you are an advanced or professional. So, how will you know if you are falling under this category? It depends on the command of the language, your fluency, how well you are able to talk the language, how well you are able to read and understand the language, and how well you are familiar with the different number of words in that particular languages. So, based on that, you can categorize your level, and based on categorizing the level, what are you going to do? You are going to start your preparation. So, first start with beginner or easy level question papers. Then, once you are very comfortable and once you feel that you are managing time well, okay, and your answer choices, okay, your answer choices are right, then you can shift to the next level, which is your intermediate, then to your advanced, and then to your professional. Okay. So, this is how you have to hone your preparation itself. Yes. So, it's just not about, preparing and going and attending the exams. It's about how are you preparing. Okay. What is the importance that you're giving when you're preparing for any topic? I would not say that it's just verbal or clause test. It depends on verbal or logical or analytical or any other exams that you are facing. The way you prepare is very, very important, right? Next. So, like I had told you, type 1. And your type 2 is to fill in with the accurate form of words. Accurate form of words as in, say for example, there's a verb, okay. So, you have a verb run, okay. So, this run will be given, but you need to choose the word with the appropriate form, as in whether in that particular sentence it will become he ran, or he runs, or he will run. So, you need to change it to the appropriate form, and then you have to fit in that particular sentence or the passage, right? Next. Third, missing letters. Okay, missing letters. Let us take the word missing. So M-I-S-S-I-N-G. So this missing could be M-I-S-S-I-N-G. So you need to find out what this word is and you need to fill in the letters that are missing as well. Okay, so this is type 3. Next, your type 4. Okay, so type 4 is the passages with no answer choices. So you need to fit in with the appropriate word and you need to be very sure that there is no change with the logical meaning of the passage. Okay, and it should be grammatically right as well. So if you see type 1, 2 and 3, it can fall under easy, medium, easy and medium. Okay. But the one without any choices is meant for the difficult level of passages, right? So you'll be able to understand looking at what type of question pattern is being asked in the Cloze test, right? So you need not panic, okay? It's just that it requires a lot of attention. So you just cannot overdo and you cannot move on to the questions. You need to pay attention, understand the questions properly and then answer to it, yes? So that is all about it. Now let's move on to our next. We are seeing now in detail about each and every type with an example, okay? So what's your first example? So let's read our passage and let's understand. Let's go step by step and let's see how we are able to choose the right answers, yes? Your first passage. Earth, our home, is the third planet from the sun. It's the only dash known to have an atmosphere containing free oxygen, oceans of water on its surface, and of course, life. Next, so in this passage, what are they talking about? They are talking about the earth. Okay, so we were able to identify the central theme of this particular passage alone. Okay, this paragraph alone. So entire passage, only when we complete with the 4 paragraphs, we will be able to understand, right? Next, the 5th largest planet of the solar system is the Earth. It is smaller dash the 4 gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune, but larger than the 3 other rocky planets, Mercury, Mars and Venus. So you see in this second paragraph also they are talking about Earth, okay, but they are comparing Earth. Okay, they are comparing, but they are comparing Earth with other planets, right? Yes. Now let's move on to a third paragraph, yes? Earth has a diameter of roughly 8,000 miles and is dash because gravity pulls matter into a ball. But it is not perfectly round. Earth is really an oblate spheroid because its spin causes it to be squashed at its poles and swollen at the equator. So here what's happening in this paragraph also, they are talking about Earth, but they are talking about the structure of the Earth, okay? Yes, so that is an understanding, the theme of the third paragraph. So can you see there is a link from one paragraph to the other. Even in the previous video of Cloze test, I was telling you that you need not consider every sentence as individual sentence or every paragraph as individual paragraphs. You need to consider that there is a flow from one paragraph to the other. Yes? So we got to know the flow from one paragraph to the other because the first was the introduction about Earth. Second, we compared the Earth with the other elements. And third, we spoke about the structure of the Earth, right? And next, 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with water and most of that is in the oceans. About a fifth of Earth's atmosphere consists of oxygen produced by dash. While scientists have been studying our planet for centuries, a lot has been learned in the past few decades by studying pictures of Earth from space. So what are they telling in this paragraph? Yes, here also they are talking about earth. Yes, but they are talking about the living. Yes, the geography and the life. Okay, that is living, that is life. Life and the geography and the research about the earth. Okay, so now once we have completed all the 4 paragraphs, you got to know that the entire passage is speaking about earth. Yes, so you got an idea? Yes, so since I'm introducing this topic to you, I'm going to reread it again and I'm going to help you on how you can choose the appropriate words. But once you start practicing it, you need not reread itself. As you're reading itself, you will be able to come up with the choices of words that would fill in with the blanks, right? So now let's try to reread and then let's see which word strikes your mind that could suitably fill in suitably to this particular blank. Yes? So we already got a small idea. We've written here, right? First paragraph talks about the earth and intro. Yes. Second paragraph talks about comparison. Third is about the structure and fourth is about the life, geography and the research. So now, Earth, our home, is the 3rd planet from the sun. It's the only dash known to have atmosphere containing free oxygen. So it is the only what? So they told Earth is a planet. It's a 3rd planet. So it is the only planet it should be, right? Yes, it's the only planet or it's the only space or it describes about the earth. Yes, so what is the word that can describe about the earth? The most suitable word could be planet. Yes, so that's our, this is our idea. This is not the concluded or the final word, but this is what we assume. Yes, so later we will go compare it to our options and we will see if this is right or if there is another word that is suitable or it is the most appropriate to the word that we have thought about. Yes, now the next paragraph. The 5th largest planet of the solar system is the Earth. It is smaller dash the 4 gas giants Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune, but larger than. So but, can you see something is connecting you here? So which means there is a connection between this sentence and this sentence. But larger than the 3 other rocky planets, Mercury, Mars and Venus. So you remember I told you, you can look for clues with the phrases, yes, with the previous or the next sentence. So now if you see, this and this sentence are of the same type, yes, because first they have compared to the smaller size and next they've compared to the bigger size. So if you see, if it is but larger than, then here also it should be, it is smaller than. Okay, so that is just our view, our perception. Yes, so this is not the final answer. Now we are done with the 2 paragraphs. Now let's move on to the 3rd. Earth has a diameter of roughly 1,000 miles and is dash because gravity pulls matter into a ball, but it is not perfectly round. So if you see here also we have the word but. Yes, so you can look for the phrases. So, but it is not perfectly round. So, it's providing a contradiction. Okay. So, only when you say that it is round or it's pure, you can say, but it is not perfectly. Yes. So, Earth has a diameter of roughly 8,000 miles and is maybe round, yes, or spherical in shape. Yes, because gravity pulls matter into a ball, but it is not perfectly round. Yes, so we are done with the assumption of the 3rd paragraph. Now let's move on to the 4th. 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with water and most of that is in the ocean, right? They spoke about water. Next, about a 5th of Earth's atmosphere consists of oxygen produced by dash. Okay, so which produces oxygen? Yes, so that's a question to us. Do we produce oxygen or do plants produce oxygen? So we produce carbon dioxide. So obviously plants produce oxygen. So we take oxygen from plants and we exhale carbon dioxide for the plants, right? So produced by plants. Okay, so even before we have moved into our options, we were able to come up with a rough idea of what can be our answer choices, right? So with that, now let's move on to our question. So what is question 1? So you have 4 options: planet, moon, satellite, surface, life. So what is the option that you thought? Earth, our home, is the 3rd planet from the sun. It's the only planet. So you have the answer right. So this is your right option. Question 2. The 5th largest planet of the solar system is the Earth. It is smaller than. So do you have than, for, then, than? Yes. So your option is right, than. Next, Earth has a diameter of roughly 8,000 miles and is round or spherical in shape. So round or spherical. So let's look at that particular word. So oval, round, square, uneven, disrupted. So you have round. You don't have sphere, but you have round. Okay. Next, what's the last one? Oxygen produced by plants. So do you have plants? Animals, humans, living beings, plants. Yes, so your option 4, plants, is the right answer. So you see, in case you had immediately jumped into these options, you would be flipping back and forward to check if planet would fit in, moon would fit in, a satellite would fit in, surface or life, and then you need to come up with the right choices. You need to eliminate. But once you are sure of which kind of word will fit in the sentence, the entire process becomes very simple for you. Okay? Yes? Now let's move on to our next. What's this? This is our type 2. So type 2, like I told you, the word will be given and you need to choose the appropriate form of the word. Okay? So they stole the old man's pipe and dashed it from the mouth to mouth. Okay? So they stole the old man's pipe. Stole, the verb. Yes, it's in simple past. So they stole the old man's pipe and passed it from mouth to mouth. They engaged him. So the word engage is given. So what will happen? Since we identified that the tense it's in the form of past, they engaged him in innocent converse while one of them pinched. The word is pinched, so it becomes pinched his bare old toe under water, crab fashion. And at last they prepared to shin up the rope again and sleep the sleep of the young, the innocent and the refreshed. Refreshed. So you see, when you're able to understand the tone or in which type of the tense it is, you are able to identify the right form of sentence. Okay, so you see, when you understood on what type of tense it is, we were able to fill in with the appropriate form of the words that were given to us, right? So this is type 2. Next, for example, in case it was they will steal. So what will this become? This would have become will pass, okay, and this will become will engage. It's all in future. Will pinch, yes, will pinch, will prepare, okay, and will refresh, okay. Yes, if it was in present, what would have that been? Okay, steal. Okay, so they steal the, so it will become and pass, engage, pinch, prepare, refresh, right? So this is how it would have been, right? So once you identify the tense, it will be very easy for you to choose the appropriate form of words. Now let's move on to our type 3. So type 3 is about the missing letters, okay? So you have a sentence and in that particular sentence you have few letters that are missing in certain words, so that you need to identify. So common nouns, name, general are dash, people, places, things, ideas and dash. So what is this? Are non-specific. People, places, things, ideas and emotions. So we know what are common nouns in general. So it is easy for us to fill in. Next. Disregarding the news about impending bad weather, I decided to go out without a dash or dash and ended up getting wet. I resolved thereafter to always take note of the weather dash. Okay. So this is like a paragraph without any options. So can you see there are no options here? Okay. So we need to fill in with our own options, but it should not alter the meaning of the paragraph. Yes. So disregarding the news. So without taking that news into consideration, that is when you say it's disregarding. So disregarding the news about impending bad weather, that the bad weather will be prevalent, I decided to go out without a dash. So if you want to go out during rain, what are things that you would require? You might require a raincoat or you might require an umbrella. Yes? And ended up getting wet. You might even think about without a vehicle or a car or something. But if you're in the car or if you're in the vehicle, you might not have got wet. Yes, but what is that? The perfect object, if you choose, that will address this getting wet concept. Yes, so that is why we were telling about it should be logically right as well. So that's why we are concluding with rainbow and umbrella. I resolved thereafter to always take note of the weather dash. So weather what? Okay, weather information. Something tells, only then you can take a note of it. So what are the options for this? This could be probably information. Yes, or a news. Yes, or you can say a forecast or details. Okay, so you can see in a particular blank, there are few options, right, that could fit in. Yes. So now let's see with our idea, we'll see which word can fit in with the most appropriate meaning. So disregarding the news about impending bad weather, I decided to go out without a or an. So it is either a raincoat, yes, or it becomes an umbrella. So that is why they have given a or an. Yes, and there's a typo here, and ended up getting wet. I resolved thereafter to always take note of the weather details, or yes, these are all right. This could, fit in. But let's see which would be beautiful. When you use a word, how beautiful can the sentence be? Details, information, news, forecast. So probably forecast can be the right choice. Yes, weather forecast. Yes, of an we'll take as an umbrella. So you see, disregarding the news about impending bad weather, I decided to go out without an umbrella and ended up getting wet. I resolved. So what is resolve? You see to that in future you are going to do this. Yes, so that is a resolution. I resolved thereafter to always take a note of the weather forecast. Done. So yes, so we saw about what are the 4 different types that we come across in a cloze test, right? So I hope this video helped you. In the next video, we will see about the most important and repeated questions when it comes to the cloze test. All right. So thank you.